Alright out there guys, for those of you who don't know, this is my 2018 Chevy Colorado. It's an LT model. I was going to get a ZR1 or a ZR2 because I wanted to fix it up my own way. I wanted bigger tires. I wanted a bigger lift kit. So no need to get the ZR2 or ZR1 if you're going to take all that stuff off and redo it, right? So this is what I did. A lot of stuff that's functional. No frills here, okay? Like, I couldn't see spending money on the LED lights because it doesn't need them. These are fine. I'd rather spend the money somewhere else. So I got a full-size spare. I got a heavy-duty Fab 4 bumper. I got a tire carrier off a Toyota Tacoma. Had to do some modifications to it. Did all the mods myself to get it to work. Yeah. I need a camper shell. So when I go off-road and hit the trails, I can access everything with the big door there. That's why I got that instead of a fiberglass one. I wanted 35-inch tires. I heard I was going to have trouble fitting them, but I had no issues. They rub a little bit on the corners while off-road, but nothing major. As you can see anything? No. I can't run tire chains though, but that's okay. It don't snow in Southern California. I could have put more expensive rooftop lights up there from KC, but those 4 are plenty. I mean, that's $700 worth of lights right there, not counting the light bar. Those are the KC Gravity LEDs, 4x6s. And then rough country suspension, $1,000. Installed it myself. With a few modifications, it works excellent. Wheels, everything just worked perfect. I had some fender flares, but no need for them. Tires sit in there just right. Now, could I upgrade the headlights? Yes, I could, but you know, when I go off-road, those are the lights that I need. So I spent the money on those and not upgrading these to LEDs or HIDs and all that other baloney, flashbacks, what do they call them? Switchbacks and all that fluff. I got fog lights, just regular halogen fog lights. I mean, how often do I really use those? Got a Smitty built winch, 10,000 pounder. Got the steel cable. No need for washing that. I was just watching a Tacoma owner and he's got the synthetic cable. And he used it for something, so now he's showing, well, he's got to take it out and wash it and dry it. He's got it hanging on a rack. I go, you don't got to do that with the steel cable. How often am I really going to use that? I got a winch on that truck back there, a good Warren. I'd probably use that 3 times. So yeah, no need to get a synthetic cable. It's just going to sit there and rot if you don't wash it and clean it and all that stuff. Inexpensive light bar. Perfect, fills in the gap between those, which are like a long range light, and these are like a little closer, little spread beam. Diffused. Yeah, diffused lighting. What I did do on this truck on the rough country suspension, maybe I'll take the tires off and show you. Do you want to see? Do you want to see mine? You show me yours, I'll show you mine, right? I'm making this video because I'm just trying to get some more subscribers. Because I've seen other Colorado videos out there and nobody's got anything like that. That they've actually done themselves, you know, DIY. I was just watching a video of another Colorado owner and he's got 6,000 views on one video that's been on for 1 week. And all he did was put wheel spacers and a leveling kit. And I go, pfft, that's kid stuff. Alright guys, so this is a rough country kit that I upgraded, okay? I went with a $1,000 rough country kit. I just wanted the main components on there and I upgraded it from there. So you can buy more expensive kits, but even the more expensive kits don't come with everything I've done with this truck. Alright, so let me give you a quick look. And I especially recommend this if you're going to go do some heavy off-road use. Okay, if you're just going to the mall, you're not going to need none of this stuff, but this is what I've done on this thing. To start with, the rough country kit does not come with bump stops. I got these bump stops here. These are from Daystar, okay? These are not hydraulic. These have polyurethane little spacers in this tube. There's a tube in there. I'll show you one right now. But you can put hydraulic ones if you want. This is just your standard bump stop mount here. Tube stop. I cut the factory one out and roughed in the can. This is a can. Tack welded it back in place and slipped the bump stop in place. Let me go grab the bump stop. Alright, so here's a quick look at the bump stops. This is the Daystar kit. This is what it comes with. Okay, very simple. You're not going to have any leaks or anything with this because there's no oil, there's no air. You put these little polyurethane bumpers in there. They come in different hardness. Durometer. There's blue and there's black. The blues are softer than the black. You put them in the tube. Screw this on. And there you have it. There you have it. Except these are in there. Issue I've had with these though is that this bottom piece right here, this bronze piece, will tend to wear, so it'll start getting some play in there. But they're rebuildable, so it's really not that big of a deal. I haven't had any issues yet. I think they worked out pretty good for me. You can go with the hydraulic ones or the air bumps and all that stuff. That's just more maintenance if you like maintaining stuff. So that's the Daystar product, and it fits in the can like that. This thing should be on recording. Alright, so you need bump stops because the factory bump stop is way up here. And once you lower the lower control arm, this bump stop should lower down too to the factory location. It's only got a really small gap on these things once the truck's on the ground. Just look at your factory bump stops. You'll see how tight they are. Okay, so that's the reason for these. I had to weld a little piece of steel on here to thicken them up, to tighten them up. The gap is what I'm looking for. Okay, because I got these as far as down as they would go, and still I'm like, they got to be tightened up. So that's worked for me. All right. So then another thing, extended brake lines. Off-roading, the rough country kit comes with some brackets that lower the brake line down. You actually just bend the metal brake line and it drops this down. But I found they were still tight even with that bracket. So forget the bracket. I had custom brake lines made front and rear. Perfect. 6 inches longer in the front. And the next upgrade was the shocks here, the coilovers, the strut. I went with the basic kit. It comes with a strut extender, which is just a bracket to extend the factory strut and spring out. Okay, it's low budget stuff. I figure I'll upgrade these later. So these are the Foxes, I think 2.5s. They look pretty, but I'm not impressed. First of all, the spring wasn't rated high enough for my truck. I don't know why, but you know, I figured they were way too soft for off-road. I called Fox. They told me, oh yeah, you need stiffer springs. Well, why didn't it come with stiffer springs? This truck has a maximum capacity, or the total weight of this truck is 6,000 pounds. they should be able to handle the maximum load on this, which I forget what the load capacity is, but you figure it's a truck. Shouldn't the springs be able to hold up the truck to its maximum capacity? I think so. But no, they came with 500-pound springs, and that's for an empty truck. That's a truck with no weight. So, trying to get a upgrade from them. Okay, so anyway, I called Fox on that, and I tried to get some springs from them, and they said I'd be better off buying the springs somewhere else. I'd get a better price. I'm like, oh jeez. Man, I spent $1,600 on these things, and you guys won't cut me a deal on some springs. I actually wanted them revalving because I still think they're too soft. So just something to think about, but these are the only ones that will fit with the 6-inch lift. Okay, you can go with the rough country shocks, which are just longer than the stock, or yeah, longer than the factory shocks. Next big upgrade here, tie rod sleeves. You got to have these tie rod sleeves if you're doing any kind of heavy duty off-roading. You don't want to bend these things. It happens. Inexpensive. These are stainless steel for merchant automotive. Really beefed up the tie rod ends there. And that's it. If I had some money, I'd like to mess around with these and get another brand. Probably Icon or King, or the issue is to get them long enough to fit without spacers. If you know what I'm talking about. In the rear, this is what I did on the rear. No lift blocks. The basic kit from Rough Country comes with lift blocks, okay? I got aftermarket springs here from Atlas Spring. These are, if you notice, all the leaves are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 leaves. Yeah. So I went over to Atlas. They actually put my truck on the scale and weighed it and did the springs for me. These are Atlas Expedition packs. Okay, way better than lift blocks. Another thing I did back here, besides the longer brake lines, is if you notice there's no ABS sensor wire running down here. On a lot of these GM trucks, the sensor wire just hangs off the frame and it goes over to the wheel. Well, that's no good. I've never seen nothing like that before. So I rerouted them. See, I've got them right here following the brake line. I follow the brake lines back to the sensor on the rotor there, or the disc. Along with the longer brake lines. There's 2 brake lines on the rear, right and left. I would make those at least 9 inches longer. I went with 6. So I still had to use the bracket here from Rough Country to lower this one. Yeah. I didn't think about that when I put them on, but they work, and there's nothing wrong with this. It's just, you gotta do that, right? So what else would I do to this truck? I wanted to try some different shocks on the rear. Those are the Rough Country shocks. I'd like to mess around with the fronts. Maybe have some custom valved coilovers made up for this thing, but there just ain't no money in it. So that's that. There's a quick look. Those are the mods I recommend doing to the Rough Country lift. I haven't seen anybody else do anything like that on YouTube. And I got all kinds of videos installing all this stuff. I did it all myself. I didn't take it to no shop. So I could probably tell you just about everything on this truck. The same goes with the Tacoma. I did the Tacoma. I went with the Old Man Emu suspension. I did all that myself. That came with leaf springs in the rear. I even upgraded those. Did all my wiring on my lights. I've got an auxiliary battery in the back. Basic stuff, just basic stuff. It's got to get me going down the road and off the highway and up and over and So far everything's worked out great. I also have a set of gears for this, 456 gears. I just haven't had the extra money to have them installed. So who knows if that'll ever happen. Alright, so this is my Saturday. Got no plans to go anywhere because saving my money for the holiday coming up. I don't need fuel money. Any questions? Feel free to ask. It's like I said, I haven't seen another Colorado like this. Not even close. Not even out on the trail. So don't forget to like and all that stuff, share, support, you know, ding dong or whatever. We'll see you around. Here's a quick look. That's my Super Auto.